Yes! What is up, everyone? Now, first off, Happy New Year. Let's go. Let's do this. You can see it here. And in 2021, we are going to see it through together. I know you guys like my dance. I've been working on it. Second, I'm wearing this jersey in honor of Iago Aspas, the 33-year-old captain for Celta Vigo. He is an absolute beast. He's got a goal or an assist in his last 9 games. I love him, and I just wanted to tell you that. Oh man, I got a crush on Iago Aspas. I'm not afraid to admit it. Third, in years past, if you guys remember, I would do the Jimmy Awards near the end of the year. I would wear a tux, I would comb my hair, unlike today, whatever. I'm in quarantine, pandemic, get off my back. And then I would hand out my bobblehead as a just reward for all the talented players that were very, very good, or talented teams or managers or whatever. But in honor of the worst year in our collective lifetimes, I feel like I gotta go the opposite. We're giving out the worst awards. And first up is the worst decision of the year, which has to be, and I'm gonna stand up to really emphasize the fact that I cannot believe that this didn't happen. France football refusing to name a Ballon d'Or winner this season. I mean, what a bunch of cowards. There was only one player that deserved this award this year, and it was Robert Lewandowski. The man led every competition that he was in scoring. The DFB Pokal, which is a great name for a cup competition, the Bundesliga, and the Champions League, and then led his team to the treble. They won all 3 of those competitions as well. Did any other player do that? No. Does any other player deserve to even be close to this award? No. But because they're like, oh, well, the pandemic stopped some leagues and it just wouldn't be fair. And that's because France decided to stop their league. Ligue 1 stopped. But Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, they weren't going to win the Ballon d'Or. Come on, they haven't even gotten close to sniffing that award. So Robert Lewandowski got absolutely robbed. France football, what are you doing? Worst decision of the year. And next up on the worst awards, it is the worst best manager of the year. And yes, I think you can have a worst best player and manager and team and game and all that type of stuff. And that's because I'm making the rules. So suck it, haters. Anyway, the worst best manager of 2020 has to be, in my humble opinion, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I say that because I don't really know what to make of him. I mean, this is a guy that signed Harry Maguire and overpaid for Harry Maguire by a lot, but then also signed Bruno Fernandes, who we could argue is the most valuable player in the Premier League since he arrived. I mean, the guy is the goods. But then if we look at the group stages of the Champions League, the most recent ones over the last 2 months, he beat RB Leipzig 5-0 at home. Comprehensive performance. I was like, whoa, this Manchester United team is lights out. But then they lose to Istanbul Başakşehir, and a 35-year-old Demba Ba gets a breakaway from midfield. I mean, how does that even happen? I'll tell you, bad lineup choices. His lineup choices in that game were baffling. No balance in the team at all. But then you see that they're currently in second to end 2020, only 3 points behind Liverpool with the game in hands. And you're like, all right, I guess he is a good manager. I guess he does have this figured out. But then you realize that he had an insurmountable lead, in my opinion, in the Champions League group stages. I'm going to reference it again because I still can't believe it. And they get third, and they're going to the Europa League. So I just don't know with Ole Gunnar. I mean, is he good or is he not? Is he getting the most out of his team or is he just getting lucky? I don't know. Okay, the manager's out of the way. Let's talk now about the worst best player. And I really feel like, similar to Robert Lewandowski, there's only one name that can fit this award given the 2020 that he has had, and it is, drum roll please, and you better add drum roll to this, otherwise it's gonna look really dumb. And I'm talking about Eden Hazard. We all know it to be true. I mean, he was brought in to be a direct replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and this guy couldn't even replace a 16-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo at Sporting Clube de Portugal. Okay, yes, I know he's had horrible luck with injuries. We can give him that as somewhat fairness, maybe, kinda. I don't know, but I will say what I find very interesting is that he has not played one full 90-minute game in 2020. The last time that he played a full 90 minutes was November 2019 against Real Sociedad. I'm like 15 years older than Eden Hazard, and I think I could go 90 right now. Let's go. Call me up, Zidane. I signed a one-day contract with your team before. I'll do it again. So it makes me wonder if Real Madrid regret that decision. They could have spent that $115 million on Kylian Mbappe, potentially, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Paul Pogba. I mean, anybody but this guy. Could be the biggest flop of all time. Now it's time to talk about the worst, best team. And I'll be honest, I almost had Inter Milan in this spot. They got to the Europa League final, which they should have won against Sevilla. They were better on paper. They had a 1-goal lead, and they pissed it away. But fair play to Sevilla. It's what they do. They win the Europa League. And also, this Inter Milan team got knocked out of the Champions League group stages. They finished 4th behind Shakhtar Donetsk and Borussia Mönchengladbach, who had never made it to the round of 16 before. Unacceptable. Times a million. Antonio Conte's record in Europe is tragic. You could make a strong claim he should be fired for that alone. But maybe that helps them. Now they can fully concentrate on winning the Scudetto and knocking Juve off the top spot for the first time in 10 years. But that's not who I want to talk about. The worst best team for me in 2020 was Manchester City. Even though they started off the year in fine form, winning the Carabao Cup for the 3rd year in a row, they finished behind Liverpool in the league by 18 points. They had 100 points the season before. 100 points, and they finished 18 points behind Liverpool. That is unacceptable. That is one of the worst title defenses since David Moyes was managing Manchester United. And we know he's a clown, so it makes sense. Pep Guardiola is not a clown. Maybe to some, but to most, he's not. Then to make matters worse, they again fell out of the Champions League, losing to a team from France, Lyon, over 2 legs. And I just still can't understand how that's possible that a team like Manchester City would sit back in leg 2. Sit back. With all the talent at their disposal, he would sit back and play more defensive and invite Lyon to go at him. And it didn't work. He was overthinking. He was overmanaging. Cost him again. Pep Guardiola, what are you doing? I don't understand. Your team's amazing. And you put handcuffs on him. Unacceptable. I like that word a lot. Unacceptable. And now look how they're ending 2020. They're in 8th place. This team, with all of this talent, they are for sure, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, even though I said Inter Milan at the beginning, the worst best team of the year. Congratulations, fellas. It's nice to see underperforming getting valued, right? And finally, the worst best game of 2020 happened on August 14th in Lisboa, Portugal, between 2 of the biggest clubs in the world, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich absolutely slapped them around 8-2. What? I mean, Barcelona stood no chance, even though I thought they were pretty good for the first 15 minutes, and it was 1-1 after 15 minutes. But after that, it was one-way traffic, and it led to so many things, and it exposed Barcelona in so many different ways. One, their older players are getting a little bit too old. Piqué, probably never going to be the same player. Busquets, getting a little old, getting a little slow. Messi needs other people around him to do some of the work. He can't do it all by himself. It was just the end of an era, honestly. And I think it was starting. Because if we look at the quarterfinals 2 years ago in the Champions League, where they had the lead in leg 1 against Roma, but then blew it in leg 2. And then in the semifinals the following year, last year, they lost to Liverpool 4-0 in the second leg after being up 3-0 in the first leg. And then they have this. The capitulation was complete, right? They had the trilogy of bad games in the Champions League, and this was it. So then they fire their coach, Quique Setien. He's out, right? Abidal was probably on his way out. The days were numbered for the president. Messi, I think that's a big reason why he wants to leave. And not only that, can we talk about the fact that Coutinho, who was on loan from Barcelona to Bayern Munich, also scored 2 goals and had an assist in this game, and then he comes back to Barcelona and he's practically invisible. Maybe one of the worst signings for them of all time, given how much they paid for him. I mean, what is even happening? And this game was unlike anything I've ever seen. And I was at the Brazil-Germany game, the 7-1 game at the World Cup in 2014. Actually, that might be the craziest one of the decade, just because Brazil was... Anyway, we don't have to get into that. For 2020, this was the worst best game ever. Now, I guess if you're a Bayern fan, you're like, wow, that's amazing. You're a Real Madrid fan, you're like, oh, I love seeing Barcelona get crushed. But if you're a Barcelona fan, there's a lot of them out there, maybe more Messi fans than Barcelona fans, this one had to hurt. All right, everyone, I'm done. I'm dropping the mic on the worst awards, though I feel like we should do those every month because they're kind of fun, right? Get to lay into a couple players and teams and managers, and then you guys can give me your takes on who you think should be the worst. And I want those in the comments. Also, the comments have been popping off. Keep those coming. And I'll try to jump in as much as humanly possible. Do you agree with my worst awards? Disagree? let me know. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in 2021. Later.